The day we've been waiting for has just come and gone, which was yesterday, the 8th of September 2025. And I want to tell you that I listened to that debate from 4:30 till when it ended at 7:30. Yes, I did it for you guys. So I'm going to summarize what actually happened there so that you can prepare yourself and be aware of what is happening in the UK. I must tell you that I am really happy with what you guys did. You actually equipped your MPs, but those from Hong Kong actually have more leverage. They went the extra mile. I will tell you what I saw and noticed is just my personal opinion. I know I might receive some backlash because of this. It's not a competition, but I feel that there are some things we need to learn from people from Hong Kong that would help us in any argument we want to do in the future. And I'm going to tell you the ending. It's what matters. Towards the end, what was the government's response to all the things that the MPs said? What was their response? Guys, I'm going to share that with you. If you're interested in this and more, please watch this video till the end. Hello everybody, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, please subscribe to my channel. And if you need support getting a visa sponsorship job, maybe you need someone to help you optimize your CV, cover letter, or supporting information, then reach out to me. The link will be in the description as well as in the comments. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Remember that the government introduced the white paper and they proposed to extend the ILR period from 5 years to 10 years. And that was what prompted people to create these petitions. Now, the first one for that of skilled worker visa holders, they want existing skilled worker visa holders to not be affected at all. Also, that of Hong Kong nationals, they don't want to be affected. They have other requests. You could see that 99% of people who spoke were passionate. They actually were backed with information. And that's why I want to commend every one of you who have sent their stories, letters, calls to bring up points that will help the MP state why you want it to be 5 years. There was this mention of the fact that if you bring a child into the UK and the child is 10 years old, if you make it 10 years, it means that the child might struggle to get into uni because they will be charged based on the international fees instead of home fees. So that level of exclusion is quite unfair on anybody who is in the UK for 10 years. So that child might struggle to get into uni. They also talked about it's affecting people with regards to career progression, that is affecting research and, academics. I'm talking about the fact that the UK wants the brightest and the best people. And when it comes to getting the best people, they will be turned off to come into the UK to bring their talents. So it's going to affect research, innovation. I'm telling you that different professionals said, we don't know our fate if we stay in the UK. If you extend it to 10 years, it's going to be difficult for our kids. We've created a family here. We've done our best. Our kids are happy here. We feel this is a safe place. We are contributing to the NHS. Yes. There was this particular situation that stood out. Someone said in their constituency, because of lack of carers, that people have to stay back in the hospital. I've heard of stories of people who are not being discharged, as in they don't discharge you from hospital, because after discharging the person from the hospital, the person needs a carer to care for them in the nursing home or in their home. So because there's nobody there, these people have to stay longer in hospital. I've heard of things like that. 40% of them coming to work in the health and care sector. And if you say do not stay here, you're going to make it unattractive for doctors, nurses, radiographers, teachers, and every other person that is valuable in the UK. So I like the way they presented things, talking about taxes. They don't take benefits. It will be best for you to maintain that 5 years because of their children. It can make things uncertain for them. But there is something that they kept asking the government, that they should make it clear. The uncertainty is so unfair. They should make it clear whether people who are already on the pathway will be affected. When will this be announced? Have you done an economic impact assessment of extending it from 5 years to 10 years? Do you know the impact? Okay, there were so many questions centered around that. Please be clear. When will this be implemented? There's something that they leaked out. I'm going to share a video for you to see. I have always told you that I predict that this ILR from 5 years to 10 years will be implemented from April 2026. I think they indirectly confirmed my suspicion. Watch this.
Recent correspondence from the Home Office to a Labour MP that I'm sure many of us have seen suggested that the existing pathway would remain unchanged for those already holding BNO visas, and that the proposed changes to the language requirements would apply to new applicants from April 2026 onwards only. This, however, was contradicted by later correspondence released to a number of letters issued by, I'm sure, members around this room.
Remember, they did not state clearly that it was going to be in April 2026, but it was kind of a hint if you listen to what he said. Now, listen to everything that has been said. I was really, really happy, but I know when you look at the color of the ties that they have there, if you look at the people from different constituencies there, you can tell that it was a particular party. There were some parties that were not there. Yes, they are not in support of this particular thing. But towards the end, a lady stood up to explain why they wanted to affect existing skilled worker visa holders. I want you to listen to this lady, listen to her points, and tell me what you think.
Our suggested reforms do not apply to Hong Kong BNO visa holders. That is a specific route set up for extraordinary purposes, and we believe should be viewed and treated differently. Implementing these policies in full, though, would save the British taxpayer hundreds of billions of pounds. It would relieve pressure on our already stretched public services and lay the foundations for an immigration system which genuinely works in the national interest. But more than that, it would give effect to the democratic wishes of the British people by reversing a costly disaster that nobody voted for and which most people now acknowledge was a catastrophic mistake. So I would urge the government, in the strongest possible terms, to commit to implementing the changes that we have repeatedly proposed, including by applying any changes to ILR to those who are already here. A 5-year visa does not confer a right to apply to settle here indefinitely. Those who come here must make a genuine and sustained contribution to our country, and unfortunately, most of those who have come on the skilled worker route in recent years are unlikely to do so. If, as the Prime Minister says, our, quote, open borders experiment has been a mistake, then why should British taxpayers be saddled with the cost of that mistake for the rest of their lives?
You've listened to her. She said it's going to cost the taxpayers hundreds of billions of pounds. And because of that, she feels that it should apply to existing skilled worker visa holders. I know that this is not what we want to hear. Please do not be emotionally triggered by this. It's not final. It's not final. It's just a debate. They said there's going to be a consultation, guys. Every time they keep asking the government, when is it going to be? They have not stated clearly the time is going to come up, but they are saying that a consultation will happen sometime towards the end of this year. And somebody said, okay, if a consultation is going to take place, please separate the epetitions. Separate the one for skilled worker visa from the BNO, which is British National Overseas. To be sincere, every single MP in that particular vicinity supported that of BNO, that their own should be 5 years, but not every single person supported that for skilled worker visa. Yes, a large percentage of people supported that for skilled worker visa, but not every single one of them. Guys, I just want to tell you my honest opinion on this. I noticed that they used very strong words with regards to that of BNO, British National Overseas. You can see that they have this long commitment for a very long time. They have this relationship with Britain, with the UK, and the UK went to, Hong Kong and said, hey, we're going to have this scheme, which is BNO, British National Overseas, and we can bring you in and you will stay for 5 years in the UK. Then you can achieve your ILR. So it was something that they told them. There is this deep connection that UK has with Hong Kong. When they were arguing their statements with regards to maintaining the ILR to be 5 years for people from Hong Kong, they used words like historic commitment, long-lasting connection, building trust, removing oppression. I might not use the exact words, but there was just a whole bunch of words that they kept repeating, telling you that the Hong Kong people have actually leveraged that commitment they have with Britain. Another thing I observed is that whenever the MPs spoke about the BNO, that's people from Hong Kong, they never said, someone wrote to me, they sent me an email. No, they said, I've met a lot of them and I've had discussions with them. That's something that struck a chord, as in like it struck a chord with me and said, these people were not just writing letters, they were actually physically going there to see their MPs, to present their issues, their problems. They were not just, oh, let me write a letter and email and run off to work. No, they brought out time. It seems like they met families, not just a father or a mother. No, they, as in some of them went with, as a family, to meet their MPs together. And they have these discussions with these groups of people to understand how it affects them. So I feel like they built a better, emotional connection with their MPs. And that's why when the MPs were talking, they were so passionate and they kept saying, I met a couple of them, I had a discussion with this couple, she's this, she's contributing to the society. So that's what I observed most of the time. If you watch the debate, just tell me if I'm wrong. I know that some of the MPs also argued for the migrants, but they were not talking about, I met this migrant, she's going to be affected like this, as often as those people from Hong Kong. And I just want to say that's one strategy that people can use by building that deep connection, with your MP. MP understands your problem, not just by writing. We all know that with regards to this, it will affect them more because they would not have access to their pensions if it's extended for 10 years. It will take longer for them to have access to their pensions. And when it comes to language, English is not their main language. There's just a lot of things that you can learn from this. I just feel like they had more leverage. It's not a competition whatsoever. I want the best for both sets of people. I really want the best for everybody because 10 years is hell. Is hell. I just have to say it's hell. 10 years is a lot. But at the end, the government's response was that they are going to have that consultation. They kept saying that they're going to consult people, discuss with people before they make a final decision. They didn't say anything different, but they're going to make sure that everything is going to be fair at the end, guys. What do you think about this? Sometimes people say these debates do not lead to anything. It's a waste of time because nothing changes. But I feel we should all listen out for when the consultation is going to happen. I hope you are aware of some of the protests and happening all over the UK. A lot has been happening with regards to illegal migration, but I know that some people do not like legal migration too. Yes, some people don't like it. We know that the purpose of all these things that the government has is to reduce net migration because there has been a lot of people coming into the UK in the past few years now. But at the same time, I know how important it is because they discussed about abuse of carers, that if carers are allowed to stay for 10 years, they would be under that abuse for longer. And it's not funny. I just saw something on TikTok when somebody talked about discussing with a couple who had that care worker visa for 2 years. Their employer promised them that, don't worry, towards the end of your visa, we will renew it. Guess what? The employers just sent them sack letters, terminated their employment. It's not funny. When I laugh like this, it hurts, but I can't cry on camera. It's just heartbreaking that such a thing would happen to people like this. So that manipulation, many people have gone through a lot, people have been duped, people have gone through a lot as families because they came into the UK. And don't forget that the reason why some people can actually receive care in their homes is because of carers. Before you just have to be in a nursing home, but COVID and everything that happened, opening the borders for carers to come in, meant that some people could actually receive care in their homes. That changed the game for everything. That you must not be in a nursing home to receive the care that you need. Guys, what do you think? What do you think about everything that is happening? Like I said, I feel it's going to be implemented from April 2026. We should pay attention and listen out for when the consultation will take place. I will share with you guys whenever it takes place. But I feel like I've learned a lot from what has happened. People from Hong Kong who were given the British National Overseas at 225,000, guys. Guess how many people came into the UK? 160,000 came into the UK. But how many signed that petition? 108,000 signed the petition. Can you see the numbers? They are moving together to fight oppression, and they feel that it's a safeguarding issue, it's a safety issue for them. I don't know what you think about this. I feel I've learned a lot from what actually happened. You know, it makes a difference. You should apply it even in your workplace, or if you want favor from someone. Sometimes it's more difficult for someone to turn you down when you come physically and meet the person than when you send a letter or an email. It's very easy to say, oh, I will show up, or maybe not respond. But by going physically to meet their MPs, to remind them, see our situation, please reassure us that we are safe. And I feel it was the game changer for them. I feel that it might not apply to them because of the level of work they have done and the type of relationship they've built with the UK. I feel it might not apply to them. What do you think? As for people in the UK, I don't know. Existing skilled worker visa holders, I don't know. I don't know how far it will go. I don't know who is going to be affected, whether it's people who just stepped in for the first year or people who are on the pathway for 2 years. We don't know anything. But we are going to get more insights whenever they have the consultation and they decide on the policies they want to amend. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.